Now, somewhere later in the text, we see he replaces Mike Jones. Well, we have a module, an auxiliary module for co-reference that'll tell us that the he refers to John Smith, at least hopefully, if everything works right. But all we know then from that sentence is that Mike Jones wasn't somewhere that John Smith is now at. There's no mention of the company or the position in that sentence. So what we currently have here is not an adequate representation for what we want to extract from the text. There's this intersentential dependency, and that's the job of this template merging algorithm, which essentially comes along and happily sees that these two templates can be unified together without any contradiction. And we'll take them and go ahead and do that and create this representation that Mike Jones was in the position of president of ABC Corp. And then we can turn that into the muck representation, and then we would get it right. Okay. As I mentioned in the introduction, the dominant paradigm in IE is still hand-coded systems. And that's not to say that hand-coded systems don't have all the standard disadvantages. That is, they do require a lot of expertise to build. It takes a long time. It's error-prone. The results can be brittle. Not brittle in the way that some of the systems that were developed in the 80s are brittle, but still, you don't tend to recognize things that you didn't think of before. The main reason is some of the problems with taking what's the dominant learning paradigm in computational linguistics and applying it to some of these problems. As far as the end-to-end, that is supervised learning. So as far as the end-to-end results, these training data don't tend to naturally occur, these template structures. And they're hard, they're very costly to produce, and frankly, if you had to do this yourself, take my word for it, it's murder. I was telling some of you earlier that we actually had a contractor that quit on us because we wanted them to produce keys. It takes a long time and is error-prone itself. Even if you had a large body of these templates, the connection between the surface text characteristics and the end product can be tenuous at times. There's normalization that occurs. Again, you have to find information from different parts of the text that end up in the same place in the template representation. There's a lot going on to expect a learning algorithm to figure out what the connections are. So then you might move to encode training data for each subtask in your system. Just go ahead and dump representations and do annotations. But as we'll find out later,